This week's crochet video, I am doing something that I have never done before in my life, but also have been doing for the last 2 years. So, yay. What that is a term that I just learned, and yes, I am still learning crochet things. I'm never gonna know everything in crochet, so, you know. I'm going to be doing Intarsia Crocheting. If you don't know what Intarsia is, and you were like me a week ago, and then I ended up joining a crochet group, and some lady was doing it, and I'm like, oh, that's what it is? I've been doing that this entire time, but I've been doing it wrong. So that's where I'm doing it right for the first time kind of comes in. It's tapestry crochet, all right? So just think tapestry crochet. You've seen my videos. I always have a bad side and a good side, but when you do Intarsia, it's supposed to look good on both sides. And you can kind of do that with tapestry crocheting too, but here's the difference. I want to do my best to explain to you what Intarsia is before I actually start doing it. So basically I got an example. This is my example. So you see how this looks? Like how this is the outside of a sweater. The sweater that I made, if you haven't watched it. I made a car sweater. It's front and back, and the pattern is on my Patreon. This is the good side. When it comes to Intarsia, both sides are good. This is my inside. Not looking too pretty, right? You see all these lines and what you have there. In Intarsia Crochet, what you do is you do one color, and then when you get to the other color, you swap colors and you continue with the new color. But you might be like, okay, that's what you normally do. True. But in tapestry crochet, maybe see here, I didn't hide those well, you actually pull the yarn that you're not using over and you hide it behind the stitches. In Intarsia Crochet, you do not do that. You do not hide the colors. That makes sense. Yeah, I'll put some photos here. Hopefully that'll make more sense. And when I get into the projects, I'll show you more in depth of what I'm talking about because I haven't done them yet. I don't have anything to show you. The other thing I would do is I would carry over my yarn like you would do in tapestry, but I didn't hide it when I pulled it over. I kind of just left it like that. In true tapestry crochet, you're supposed to actually like kind of crochet those in as you go. I don't do that. I probably should start doing that so then that way it's not so messy on the inside of here. Being me, I just kind of did what I wanted to do. Now the problem that I would always get when I did these tapestry projects, and don't get me wrong, I love a good tapestry project because they're so fun to do. I would end up with like 4 balls of yarn rolling all over my bed, getting tangled because every time I'd have to like flip it, you know, to like crochet one way, flip it, crochet the other way. Well, the yarns would get all tangled up and then it would take me 5 minutes to untangle everything after every like 3 rows. And so that was really annoying. And that's why I'm kind of excited to do the Intarsia one, because if you use little tiny bobbins, have them kind of dangling and then they're not going to move. Let me show you what a bobbin is, okay? This almost looks like something you would get on a bread bag. It's a lot bigger, like usually the bread bag one is like only that big. With this, you take the yarn and you wrap and you wrap and you wrap. You also probably can make them at home with like some cardboard or something. So you don't have to go out and buy it, but I mean for $3, I'd rather pay $3 than me trying to make a bunch of them. So this is one of them. And all I did was I just took yarn and I went around, 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 around. Look it. That's it. Okay? It's like a cat toy. It's not coming undone like a ball of yarn, okay? Like this. Right, here's this yarn. Oh, there it goes. And now it's going across the room. You kind of see why this would be a little bit handier. Pretty much all I really can dive into Intarsia until I actually start doing it and being able to show you. I'm more of a see it learner. You know, like I have to watch it being done. I have to do it myself in order to learn. Rather, if someone's just talking, it's probably just going right over my head and I'm not paying attention. So that's all I can talk about in Intarsia for now until I learn more about it. But I can tell you the pattern that I'm going to make and what I'm going to make. First off, it's going to be another tote bag. I like that idea. I am actually currently working on a sweater just for fun. Yeah, it's with one of these yarns. Remember a few weeks ago, I made an orange sweater shirt. Sleeves. A short sleeve sweater using this yarn, and I really liked it, and so I'm making another one. And then I have another sweater that I'm so excited to show you. I haven't started it yet, but I didn't want to do like a bunch of sweaters back to back to back, so I'm doing a tote bag. I'm actually going to be using one of my vintage pattern books that I bought so many years ago and I haven't done anything. In fact, it's actually these patterns right down here. If you were a child of the 90s, then you might remember a little thing called Math Circus, where you would go to your computer lab at school and play it. I don't know if it's just a Canadian thing, but I loved it. Did I learn math from it? No, I just wanted to play a game on a computer. I probably didn't know I was doing math, so it didn't click in here, so there's that. I'm going to be doing not this man. I'm going to be doing the clown, and I'm going to be doing the seal on a tote bag. I wanted to do something where I didn't have to come up with a pattern, but also do a fun retro pattern. You know, there's a lot of really cool things in here. These are the 2 patterns that I'm going to do. They are for knitting. So if you like to knit, you know, you can use these patterns. I'm pretty sure you probably could use all my patterns. You know, if you're part of my Patreon and you knit and you make one of my patterns, like tag me in it or show me it. I'd love to see how my crochet pattern turned out in a knitting project. You know what I mean? I think that'd be really cool. I will also be making the pattern for them for my Patreon. You might be like, oh, but like the pattern's right here, like you didn't come up with it. I know, but I'm gonna be making adjustments to the pattern and I'm going to be expanding it. The colors that they picked, I'm not doing that those ways. I'm gonna be doing my own color scheme with the directions and the yarn I use and yada, yada, yada. So that will be on my Patreon. So that's the plan. I'm making a Math Circus tote bag. That's not so much Math Circus, it's more circus. But to me, it's because I love Math Circus so much that I'm going to be making this. I'm in the garage. I have a plan to organize this. The plan is not right now. So let's go through these bins. Bin number 1. Oh. Okay, what are the colors I'm going for? All right, I got this yellow. Oh, that's where that went. Nothing in here. Remember when I bought all these yarns? That's too cherry. What did I use a cherry red for again? Orange? I don't know. I don't think I need orange. Well, this is what I'm looking for. So for the white, I want to go with this white, which is this big boy here, the Pound of Love. These are the colors that I have picked. This is going to be the color of the seal because I wanted him to be, I don't know, like a grayish blue. Like I didn't want gray and I didn't want like a blue. So I kind of went with this one. This is Loops and Thread Impeccable, and the color is called Blue Moon. I think that's a really cute color. This color here is going to be for the yellow stripes on the ball, and then they want shadows, so I'm thinking about maybe putting a little bit of this as the shadow, you know, see how that goes. So this could be Impeccable, or it could be Pound of Love. It could be that, because this off-white, it looks white, but it's off-white, is the Pound of Love. This is going to be the color of the bag. I want like a white bag. And then for the seals, like the ball that goes on his nose, I don't know what color I want yet. I don't know if I'm gonna make it like red or yellow so it all goes together, or if I want to have a different color. I kind of have a green and I might go with the green just for some fun. But these are the colors. I'm also going to be using this hook today. Well, I've talked about this before. This is from BWA Wood Turning, and oh, I absolutely love it. I don't know how long this is going to take, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. I just want to make a cute little bag. And you know what? If I really like the pattern, maybe I'll make a vest one day. Typically what I do is I make one thing and then I never ever want to make it again. And that's why I don't sell my things, because it's a one and done situation, and I move on to other things. Is it really a crochet project until Totoro wants the attention? I just started. And she's already sitting on my yarn. You gonna go sit in the window now? Okay, good. This is how far I got last night, and now I have to deal with the consequences of my own actions. Yeah, I have to untangle this. I didn't feel like untangling it last night. I just kind of took it off the bed and watched some TV. So that's what I have to start today with, is doing this. So when I started this project, oh my goodness, Totoro's little cute paw. Oh. So when I started this project, I didn't think I needed the bobbins right away. I'm like, I don't need the bobbins. I should have used the bobbins, because look at this. This is what I had to deal with when you don't use bobbins, okay? So I've learned my lesson. Use the bobbins. I made some progress from yesterday. Something happened here. We're not going to talk about it. It's fine. It's fine. But so far it's looking pretty good. I did make some mistakes down here somehow. You can see I made a mistake here because it's supposed to go like this, and I kind of went that way, so I have to take this whole roll out. It's fine. And I'm hoping to get the whole ball done today, and then maybe the rest of the seal by tomorrow. So we'll see about that. I fixed the issue here. And then I just created a new issue right here, and I already went all the way down, and I was already over here again. And then I forgot that I'm not supposed to have a stitch right there. I have to undo all this again, and then on this again. It's literally like right here. I'm having all the issues. It's fine. It's fine. I was about to finish for the night. I got pretty good. I got the ball done. I'm almost done the body of the seal. And then I noticed this. That should be behind, and it's not. So I don't really want to take it apart. So let me just snip it. Pulled it apart in the back. Did a little double knot. Now, a normal person would probably take a few rows apart, but I don't do that. I sometimes take shortcuts because I feel like it. And yeah, look, it looks fine. It looks fine. It looks like that's on the back, it's fine. And now that's what's on the front. Good. Problem solved. I just finished the seal and now I'm going to work on the fall color, and I think I'm going to do like some fun colors together. I'm going to do green on the outside, orange on the inside, and then I guess that is just like the reflecting of like the little white speckle. Could have done the same colors as here, but I wanted to do them a little bit different. I think I might have made it also a little bit too big. For this new way of crocheting, which isn't a new way, but a new way for me, which I've technically been doing this whole time but not knowing, I'm actually wrapping the yarn that I need in these little yarn bobbins. The brand that I'm using is by Unique. You get 10 of them. I kind of wish they came in more colors because I really would like to color code a little bit more. And then you just take the yarn that you need. I'm just going to dump all those in there. And then you just wrap them like that. Honestly, it's going to save me so much time not having to unravel all the balls of yarn that get tangled, because that is something I don't like doing. I think that's enough. Cut that, and there we go. And look, it's not unwinding like a ball of yarn would. For the bigger colors, so like yellow, and of course the white is the main color of the bag, I'm not going to be putting them in the little yarn bobbins because I'm going to need a bunch of it. I don't want to have to keep winding it up. So if it's like the main color, this is fine. I'm not worried about it, so I'm just going to leave these as is. And Totoro has decided to make herself present. Yeah, she's sitting right on top of what I'm working on right now, but that's okay because she's just a little baby and she can sit wherever she wants to sit because she's just so precious. I feel like I've gotten a quarter of the way done so far. Let me tell you how nice it is not to have all your yarn tangled up. Like, that was so annoying. It was so annoying. And then I would have to I would go like 1 or 2, maybe even 3 rows tops, and then have to spend 5 minutes detangling everything just to do the same thing after 3 rows. Having like these little guys here is so handy because I can just have like a bunch of them going. Like at one point I was able to cut the blue here because I was done with it. So 2 blues going. I have 2 oranges going. I have 2 yellows going. Although one of the yellows is connected to this one because eventually when I get up to here, I'm just gonna need the one. And I have the black one down here going. I also have 1, 2, 3 whites going, but they're like one's here, one's this little one, one's this little one. Eventually I'll have 2 whites on the side and they're just going to be the ones that keep going up. What I really like about them is that they don't come undone. Like, look at that. They just dangle and they're not heavy. They're lightweight. What I am doing just to see, because personally I'm like, well, how much crocheting can I get done with one of these bobbins? This yellow one here, I wound it 50 times exactly. And then when this runs out, I want to see how many stitches I was able to get out of one of these. And then that way going forward, I'm like, oh, well, I only need like, say, 20 single crochets. That means I only have to wrap it around 10 times. I don't know. That's probably wrong. I was actually able to get 88 single crochets out of winding it 50 times. You understand where I'm kind of going? So this is like the back side and this is the front side. So I have the feet almost done in the bottom of the legs. I did something here. I don't know what I did. It's wrong. I think I might have accidentally made this leg a little bit too far this way, and then that threw this off a little bit because technically there should only be 3 stitches, but there's 4. It's fine. This is further than I thought I was going to get today, but yeah, gonna keep going. You see this sweet, innocent little baby cat who she just wants all this attention and she's acting like my best friend. What you don't know is that for 10 whole minutes. I had to chase her around the garage to get her out of the garage because she didn't want to come out of the garage. She was being fussy. She acted like she had never met me in her entire life and I was a complete stranger. And now look at her. She's like, no, I know you. You're my friend. You give me pats. Sometimes she just acts like I don't exist, but she's so cute, so I really don't care. Currently, I am working with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors going on at the same time, and you might be thinking this is probably super hectic, and that's a little bit true, but also I'm fine. They're not getting tangled up as much as I thought. Sure, sometimes say like these ones get twisted, but then I can just untwist them and like that's the end of it. Now there is still a good side and a bad side. Okay, it's not perfect. Like right here, I'm probably about done half the clown's body by now. What I'll have to do on the other side is I'm gonna have to tie up the ends and kind of weave them through. But like, look at how nice and organized it is. It's so nice and organized. Like if I lift it up, and it's not heavy. I really do enjoy this way of doing it. It's been really nice not having to untangle things every 5 minutes. Trucking along. Like I'm going pretty good.
Pretty good.
Anyways, I'm at the head now, which might be the most difficult part of this whole thing. There's a lot of color changes. That I have to do. I really like this. I think it's looking pretty cute. I should probably do more vintage patterns more often. And as soon as I hit the stop button on recording, Totoro has decided to sit on the project. Oh, Totoro. I know everybody loves you and everybody wants to see you because you deserve all the attention. I need to finish this bag and you know, you're sitting on it. You don't care though. I didn't get too far yesterday, and his face is looking a little creepy. I just got really tired. I crocheted for 30 minutes, and I was like, I'm done. Right, Totoro? You were like, we're done. We want to go watch the show Fallout. And then we did. And I really like the show, and now I have to wait for season 2. I'm back at it today, and I'm gonna finish it and hopefully even connect the 2 sides together today. That is the plan. I did it. I got this one done, but now that I'm done this, I gotta weave in the ends. So I finished the pieces. The seal, I kind of forgot that I had to weave in the ends. I thought I already did it. I obviously didn't. So I gotta still just deal with this. But I do want to show you the difference of what I used to do to what I do now. Beginning of this video, I actually had a whole separate intro that I filmed a while ago because I thought I was just gonna make a seal bag. And the back was just gonna be plain. It was just gonna be a simple project because I have a bigger project coming up and I just wanted to do something simple. And then when I learned about Intarsia Crochet, I backtracked and I ended up refilming the intro because I wanted to do something different. So anyways, before I redid my intro, the one that you saw in this video, I did what I used to do, what I normally do. And that is when I carry the yarn over, as you can see there, like those lines, like in that fence, like there's the front of it, there's the back of it. That's what I normally do because I think it's a little easier and I don't want to waste yarn. But here's the thing, after I figured out what Intarsia was, I'm like, okay, I really want to do this now. And that's why I did the clown piece. This is what I would normally do. I would take a piece and I would like bring it over, and that's why it has all those lines, and like up here too, don't mind there, I have to, you know, do stuff. Whereas on the back of this, okay, I did not tie in the ends because at one point I'm like, why am I doing that? Why am I weaving in the ends when I'm gonna put a piece of fabric on top of this? So I just didn't, okay? But I did for the most part in Intarsia. So as you can see in the back here, don't see any lines. You don't see me carrying over the lines. Every single color was its own. Here's the thing, it's so much easier unwinding like 5 bobbins than unwinding 3 balls of yarn, because with the balls of yarn, they like to roll around and it just gets so messy. And what ends up happening is when you flip a project, like, you know, you're flipping it back and forth while you're working on it, well, eventually the yarns just start to like tangle up. Whereas this, when you're flipping back and forth, the little bobbin that hangs off just stays in its spot and it doesn't get twisted. Although, yes, I have all these little tiny pieces, you can see how much more like neater it is. And if I was really gonna make it like shine and be the best I could do, I would weave in all the ends. But again, I'm covering it with fabric. This is the fabric I chose. I'm really surprised I found a circus fabric. I thought I was gonna have to find like maybe a yellow and red striped fabric, you know, that looks like the old-timey circus tents. But then I found this, which looks like, you know, vintage, almost like it belongs in like a nursery. Probably a baby blanket. I do kind of like a little pop of color on the inside. I'm now going to make the lining to it, which is just gonna be a square. Once that's sewn, I gotta sew it into the bag. I also have to sew the bag together. So there's a lot of stuff I have to do, a lot of sewing, but most of it is hand sewing, so that's really nice. I will be using my machine, which I haven't used since I made this jacket, which, you know, the troubles I had with my serger machine. Had to put me off of sewing for a little bit, but anyways, I'm just doing a square. I'm just doing square, so it should be okay. What happened? I did it right. Yay. Okay. All right, bag done. Here it is. First off, I made it a little too big. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little too big. It's okay, I have smaller tote bags. It's just funny because I keep going off the same tote bag I make, which by the way is this, and yet it's always a little bit bigger. I'm pretty sure that this is 64 stitches across, which is just the regular medium weight for worsted, impeccable yarn, and yet my bags keep turning out a little bit bigger than I thought, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't have one this size. So there we go. Anyways, enough about that. There's the seal and of course the clown. Oh, the clown, the colors I picked for the clown. I love how vibrant it is. I love how cute it is. Honestly, I was very skeptical of the clown, and now seeing it, I think I picked the right colors. I think they look really cute together. I really like how the blue pops on the bright yellow. I think I made a good decision picking the colors for the clown. And then of course for the seal, I'm really glad I did go with that shadow color. Remember early on, I'm like, well, this is the color that I picked for the shadow, but I wasn't 100% sure if I was gonna do that or not. But honestly, I think that looks really good. I can't believe I made this. You know, like I make a lot of things. I don't know. I just really love how these turned out, and it was so nice using a pattern I didn't have to like come up with in a sense, but also I had to make a bunch of adjustments. Like this pattern here, I moved a few things around, same with this one, and of course the different color choices. I think in the original pattern they wanted you to put a border because it's supposed to be like on the wall, and I didn't do that. Instead I did do a little blue border on the top, and the blue almost matches the strap perfectly. I think the strap is just a little bit more green, but super cute. And then of course, I put a lining in it. I always make the lining look like it could go this way as well, right? So that is why I always hide the strap part in between the outside layer and the lining layer. And then that way I can also wear it like this if I want to. The whole reason why I like to put a fabric liner in my bags is because it won't stretch out. You could fill this bag to the brim and it's not gonna stretch because the liner is gonna stop. Whereas if you don't put a liner in a bag, the bag literally will just stretch out of shape because it's yarn. Yarn stretches. I also like using these straps because if you were to crochet them, they'll stretch. Whereas this, there's no stretching going on. I know this bag is gonna last a lot longer with the fabric and with these straps. All right, let's talk a little bit about this. First off, to make this bag from start to finish, including sewing the bag together and sewing the lining and putting the lining in, this project only took me about 15 hours. I think that's a pretty good amount of time. The seal side took me about 5 hours to do, and that's because I didn't do the whole bobbin thing. All right, again, like I mentioned, the original video was just me making the seal bag. This was going to be plain. That was the idea. And then I learned about Intarsia. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it for this video. And so I mainly did Intarsia for the clown, and the clown took me about 7.5 hours to do. It did take me a little bit longer, but when I was doing the clown, I think the first day I got up to here. I was just zooming through because I didn't have to unwind a bunch of balls of yarn that had tangled themselves together, because the bobbins, they got tangled here and there, but it took me seconds to untangle them. That for me was a time saver, because I feel like this clown probably would have taken a lot longer had I not switched to the bobbin. This one here is kind of without the bobbins, and then this one here is with the bobbins. So not too much difference in what it looks like on the outside, but like I showed you the inside, there definitely was a difference. If you're gonna do this, buy those bobbins, because they're worth it. So when I started crocheting, I really didn't care about techniques. I didn't really care what anything really looked like. I just wanted to get a project done. But now that my crocheting is getting a little bit better, I try different techniques that will help me make my projects even better. That's where I'm going with that sentence. I couldn't figure out how to put it together. Well, after years and years and years of crocheting, I do find little techniques that help me along the way, and then I end up with like really nice patterns like this. Like, I'm just so surprised at how crisp and how nice this looks, because it coming from a knitting pattern, and if you knit or if you know knitted things, usually it's like the V shapes. They're all in perfect lines, whereas crocheting, they're a little askew. Every row is just a little wonky, right? So you never get a nice clean line, and that kind of worried me for this project, because I'm just like, it's for a knitting pattern. How is it gonna look in crochet? And you know what? I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks as good as it's gonna get for crocheting. Really like how crisp the lines are on the pants and on the arm. I think it looks really, really good. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Reason is because I didn't actually do proper Intarsia. I didn't weave in all the ends like I should have. I didn't do it because, I mean, I'm putting a liner in. I didn't want to take that extra step to do something that doesn't even matter. Didn't matter. I tied off the ends. They're not coming loose. I'm good with that. Maybe one day I'll do a proper Intarsia one where it looks good on the front and the back. When I'm just making stuff for me, I don't really care as long as it's functional, it doesn't come apart, and it looks nice. So there's that. Once again, this pattern will be on my Patreon. That does it for this video. I'm very happy. I love looking at these. Part of me kind of just wishes I made them as wall hangings, because I want to look at it forever. Like, this is just so gosh darn cute, and I am so happy with the results. So yeah, that does it for this video. If you're new to my channel, like sewing, thrifting, crafting, and of course I mean crocheting, why not hit that subscribe button? You can follow my Instagram, my TikTok, of course my Patreon, like I just mentioned. I think that's it. So y'all have a good day now.